Before we jump into this reading, I need to take a moment to acknowledge something. There's a shift happening, a big one, like the kind where the ground beneath your feet has been shaking and people around you are suddenly looking very, very uncomfortable. And if you're watching this right now, I have a feeling you know exactly what I'm talking about because you just did something. You spoke your truth. You stood up. You said what needed to be said. And now people are sweating bullets. I'm going to give you a moment to let that sink in. Whatever you just did, whatever words came out of your mouth, whatever boundary you set, whatever truth you spoke, it landed, it hit its target. And the people who needed to hear it are now dealing with the fallout. Now, let me say this loud and clear for the people in the back. You did not do anything wrong. You did not cause unnecessary drama. You did not overreact. You did not make a mistake. You spoke the truth. And the truth, as they say, will set you free, but first it will make everyone else very, very uncomfortable. That's what's happening right now. You spoke your truth and it triggered something in the people around you. Because when you speak the truth, you expose the lies, you expose the manipulation, you expose the games people have been playing. And when people are exposed, they panic. So let me tell you what's happening behind the scenes, because I can see it clearly in the energy of this reading. The people you confronted, the people you stood up to, the people who have been trying to keep you small, keep you quiet, keep you under control, they are panicking. They don't know what to do. They're not used to you speaking up. They're not used to you taking your power back. They're not used to you saying, enough is enough. And their panic is manifesting in very specific ways. Some of them are trying to talk behind your back. They're trying to discredit you. They're trying to make you look crazy, emotional, irrational. Because if they can make you look unstable, then they can dismiss what you said. They can pretend it doesn't have weight. They can pretend you don't have a point. But it's not going to work because people are paying attention, they're watching, and what they're seeing is you speaking the truth and the other side scrambling. Some of them are trying to avoid you entirely. They're hoping that if they ignore you long enough, you'll go away, you'll forget, you'll let it slide. But you're not going to let it slide. And they're realizing that, and it's making them very, very nervous. Some of them are trying to gaslight you. They're telling you that you're overreacting. They're telling you that you misinterpreted things. They're telling you that you're being too sensitive. But you know better. You know what you saw. You know what you experienced. And you're not going to let them convince you otherwise. This is what happens when a truth speaker steps into their power. The people who have been living in lies suddenly find themselves exposed. And exposure is terrifying for someone who built their whole life on a foundation of deception. Now, let's talk about why this is happening now. There's been an accumulation, a buildup. You've been holding things in. You've been biting your tongue. You've been trying to keep the peace. You've been letting things slide that you should have addressed. You've been giving people the benefit of the doubt even when they didn't deserve it. But something inside you snapped, not in a bad way, in a necessary way, a way that said, I'm done. I'm done being silent. I'm done being small. I'm done letting people walk all over me. I'm done pretending I'm okay when I'm not. And in that moment of snapping, you found your voice, the voice that had been buried under years of people pleasing and self doubt, the voice that knew the truth all along, and that voice came out loud and clear. And now the people who have been benefiting from your silence are in trouble because they don't know how to handle you when you're not silent. They don't know how to handle you when you refuse to be a doormat. They don't know how to handle you when you stand up for yourself. So they're doing what they've always done. They're trying to make you feel bad. They're trying to make you doubt yourself. They're trying to make you believe that you made a mistake, but you didn't. And deep down, you know you didn't. What you did was necessary. What you did was overdue. What you did was a gift, not only to yourself, but to everyone who has been watching. Because when one person speaks the truth, it gives others permission to do the same. I want you to think about the people who have been watching you, the ones who didn't say anything because they were too scared, the ones who have been waiting for someone else to stand up first. They are watching you now, and they are silently cheering you on because you said what they wished they had the courage to say. Now, let's talk about the impact of what you've done because it's bigger than you think. When you speak the truth, you create a ripple effect. The first ripple is the immediate reaction of the people you confronted. They're panicking, sweating, trying to figure out how to save face. That's what's happening right now. The second ripple is the impact on the people around them. The people who have been witnessing the dynamic but didn't know how to name it, they are starting to see things clearly. They are starting to put pieces together. They are starting to realize that the person you confronted is not who they pretended to be. And that is powerful. The third ripple is the impact on you because speaking the truth changes you. It strengthens you. It emboldens you. It shows you that you are capable of more than you thought. It reminds you of your power. And that power is going to carry you forward into the next chapter of your life. I'm going to bring in a message that's coming through about justice. Because what you just did was an act of justice. Not justice in the legal sense, justice in the karmic sense. You stood up to an injustice. You called out something that was wrong, and the universe is taking notice. There is a principle that says what you put out into the world comes back to you, and what you just put out was the truth. The truth that was being hidden, the truth that was being denied, the truth that needed to be spoken. And that truth is going to have consequences, not for you, for the people who were living in the lie. Because when the truth comes to light, the lies can no longer stand. And the people who built their lives on those lies have to face the truth of what they've done. Now, I want to address something that might be coming up for you. You might be feeling guilty. You might be wondering if you were too harsh. You might be worrying about the fallout. You might be questioning whether you should have just stayed silent. You might be thinking about reaching out to apologize for what you said. Don't do that. I need to stop here and be really clear with you. Don't apologize. Don't backtrack. Don't second guess yourself. You spoke the truth, and speaking the truth is never wrong. It might be uncomfortable. It might be messy. It might have consequences, but it is never wrong. The people who are sweating bullets right now are not sweating because you did something wrong. They're sweating because you did something right. They're sweating because you exposed them. They're sweating because they know you're right. They're sweating because they know they can no longer get away with what they've been doing. So let them sweat. Let them panic. Let them scramble to figure out their next move. That's not your problem. Your job was to speak the truth, and you did that perfectly. Now, I also want to address something else that's coming through. There is an energy of wariness around you right now. You're on high alert. You're watching people's reactions. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're bracing yourself for the backlash. But here's what I want you to understand: you can release that energy. You can let go of the anxiety. You can stop bracing yourself because you did what you needed to do. The universe has your back. And whatever happens next is going to work out for your highest good. The people who are meant to be in your life will honor your truth. The people who are not meant to be in your life will reveal themselves. And that's actually a good thing because it will show you who you can trust. So let me tell you what I see happening next. I see the panic settling down, not because people are okay with what you said, but because they're realizing they can't undo it. They can't take it back. They can't make you unsay what you said. And so they're going to have to deal with the truth. Some of them are going to come around. They're going to realize you were right. They're going to apologize. They're going to try to make things right. Not because they want to, but because they have to. Because the truth has a way of forcing people to face what they've been avoiding. Some of them are going to distance themselves. They're going to pull away. They're going to act like you're the problem. And you know what? Let them, because anyone who can't handle the truth doesn't deserve to be in your life anyway. Some of them are going to try to negotiate. They're going to try to find a middle ground. They're going to try to make you feel like you were partially right and partially wrong. But you know what? You were fully right. And you don't need to compromise on the truth. Here's what I need you to hold on to, Virgo. You are a truth speaker. That is your gift. That is your power. And the world needs more people like you, people who are willing to speak up, even when it's hard. People who are willing to stand in their truth, even when it's uncomfortable. People who are willing to say what needs to be said, even when people will hate them for it. You did that. You stood up. You spoke your truth. And it was beautiful. Now, I want to give you a moment to feel that. Feel the pride. Feel the power. Feel the freedom. You did something brave. You did something necessary. You did something that many people never have the courage to do, and you did it perfectly. The people who are sweating bullets right now, they'll get over it, or they won't. Either way, it's not your problem. You've done your part. You've spoken the truth, and the truth will do what it always does: set things right. So hold your head high, stand in your power, and don't let anyone make you feel bad for speaking the truth. You did what needed to be done, and I am so proud of you. I want you to remember something. You don't have to be everyone's cup of tea. You don't have to be liked. You don't have to be understood. You just have to be true to yourself. And that's exactly what you were. So let them sweat. Let them panic. Let them deal with the consequences of their own actions. And you just keep being the truth speaker that you are, because the world needs more of you. I will be here for you anytime. If this reading resonated with you, take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all of you so very much. Blessings of peace, love, and light to all of you watching today. Have a great day, everyone.